All right, everybody, welcome to round 11, the final round.
Ironman,
RM Fantasy MXperts. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us live right now. I am Chase.
and I'm Charles.
And we are the MXperts. Well, I should say Charles is the MXpert. I have just been getting smoked all
Not
year
after
long.
this weekend.
Bro, I got
Nobody's an expert after this weekend.
36 points, and I'm at 606 total. My overall rank is like 21,600. It's bad. I mean, I don't think a lot of people did that great this weekend just because Sexton finishing 4th overall. Barsha was in the mix. AP, he's had one podium so far in the year. He gets 2nd overall. Ferrandis, not even in the top 5.
Yeah,
so
that was wild.
We'll get to points here in just a moment, but it was a rough weekend for a lot of people.
Yep.
And Jett is still perfect, which means that peanut is making my mouth water eat more and more each and every freaking week. I don't like it.
This is going to be great.
Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Also, I made a promise, Charles, to hold on here. Hold on. You
got some fans hitting you up or what?
Yeah, I hope he's in the chat right now, but what's his name? Skateboard 714, aka Dirt Bike on Discord. You know what? We were chit-chatting a little bit. He showed me a clip of him going through some whoops on his 85. He said, "Hey, can I have a shout out in the show?" And I said, "You betcha."
That's awesome.
So Skateboard, if you're out there, it was good talking to you. Keep riding. That's all I got. Okay. Holy smokes. Let's get to the leaderboard here. It's the final round, and here's what we got. Overall season leaderboard. Cost Racing 86. Man, 4 points is all that separates from winning that dirt bike right now.
Yep.
So if you're a Cost.
Anything could happen.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Tommy Fizzle, 3rd, 953. It's pretty tight. I mean, from 10th, 928 to that, dude. Oh, wow. It's not very much. 34 points.
Yeah.
Could be anybody's game. Is Mad Max in there? Did he fizzle out? I don't know. Matt Hammer, he's in the MXperts group. He's at 860. So he's 8th overall in the MXperts group, but he has dropped pretty far out of the top 10. And you got to remember, too, that this final round at Ironman is not a double points round. So you just got to have a solid round.
Yep.
But I'm kind of curious to see what the shakeup could be because after this last weekend, it's getting tougher because Barsha, who props to him, man, in those motos, he was laying it down.
Yeah.
He was battling with AP.
I underestimated him.
I thought his fitness wasn't going to be that good, but apparently he has just been riding his bicycle a lot because to come back after having that much time off and to actually be able to hold it down in the top 5 for 30+2 is pretty impressive. He's not just been sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
And Anderson now is like, his fitness is coming along good too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, it's coming down to the wire here. We got our last round. And keep in mind, too, folks, next week on Tuesday, I believe, because I won't be here Monday, but Tuesday, we're going to be doing our live show for the season recap to announce the winners and see everything that is up for grabs. So, but show us the grand prizes, Sid and Nick. Here's what we have right now, down to the wire, final round. That's what you can win. That's what 4 points is separating the first place finisher right now.
300cc 2-stroke.
Fully decked out. It is beautiful. It sits right outside our office every day. We look at it every day when we walk in here.
I'm so jealous whoever wins it.
At 2nd place, you get a Fantic XTF 1.5 carbon e-bike. 3rd place, Ticket to Ride. You're going to come out to Utah with a friend. We're going to take you down to Whitewash. It's in Green River. Probably one of the coolest places to ride a dirt bike. MSR spending spree of $2,000. Tuss Tire and Wheel hookup for 5th. Rocky Mountain spending spree, $1,500. You can get a lot there. Recluse is going to give away a clutch of your liking for 7th place. 8th, you got A-Stars, $1,000. Get you some Tech 10s, Tech 7s, some cash, some riding gear. Who knows? I mean, Sexton, Jett, Anderson, all A-Stars athletes. 9th place, Attack Graphics, the Cherubies prize package. And then 10th place, you get a Tuss Tool spending spree. Pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then for weekly prizes, what do we got here?
We've got the Fast Bars, 1st place. FXR.
Have you used the Fast Flex bars?
I haven't yet. I've actually wanted to try them for a long time.
I have them, and I resisted for years. Just because I was like, I ride motocross primarily. No. But I saw tons of guys locally that use them, a lot of pros. And I was like, all right. And Cole from Fast Company, he sent me a set, and dude, you got to try them.
I need to try them. Plus, they have those different dampers you can change.
Yeah, you can change it? Yeah. Okay,
anyway, FXR gear set. We've got the 7 MX spending spree, 3rd place. You've got the Fox Comp Boots 4th, O'Neill in 5th, Fly 6th. We've got the MSR Casual Spending Spree for 7th. 8th place, Cycra Full Armor Skid Plate and Moto Stand. 9th place, you're getting some stuff from Torque 1. 10th place, goodies from Works Connection.
Yeah. Hey, so before we get too far into the show, big trouble in Little China. World Supercross. Big rumor mill going on right now. I don't know.
Not looking good for Kenny.
That is a fact.
It is not.
I forgot about that. That was not my best moment either. Yeah, so World Supercross saw a big announcement. So Michael Lindsay from Vital MX posted a video that I just watched this morning. And it sounds like potentially 3 rounds are going to be canceled for sure. It sounds like Germany and Canada are out, and then possibly Singapore. So that leaves them really with just Australia and Saudi and Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So 2 rounds that they would have left. They did make an announcement. So from what I understand, okay, this is coming from, again, from Michael Lindsay, Vital MX. We can put the link to that video down below if you guys want to see that. But so Mubadala Capital is the name of it. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a sovereign wealth fund. So the Saudi Arabia, this company was the ones funding this World Supercross, or one of their main funds, and something like $50 million.
Yeah.
And from what I'm hearing, from what Michael was saying, is they have got some of that money, but they have now, since then, that Mubadala, they've pulled those funds out. And when you have a series like this that is new, just starting, you've got to have a lot of capital to just spend, because you got to basically just count, I'd say, your first few years as just a loss before it really starts to gain traction and grow more popular. And so without that capital, those capital funds there to get things moving, I don't know what you're going to do. Could be to do the ticket sales. Maybe they just looked like, hey, we haven't sold any tickets hardly for these rounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so more to come.
With it being wishy-washy, it's hard for you to want to go see it. It's like, okay, is this going to really be a thing, or what's going on? You know?
Yeah, I agree. And then World Supercross did make an announcement or a post, because obviously they're paying attention to the rumors that are going on. And comment below, give us your thoughts on this. I'll kind of give you mine here in just a moment. But sounds like World Supercross confirmed that, yes, there are possible rounds. They didn't say which ones that are going to be canceled, and they didn't really allude to what the solution is. They just said, hey, we're going to crown a champion in Australia in November. But aside from that, they didn't deny the rumors, so they're true.
Well, didn't Michael Lindsay say something about maybe having the last 2 rounds like a double round for each of them?
Yeah, they could do multiple rounds, like a residency, if you want to call it that, at Australia and in Abu Dhabi, but not sure. Yeah. I just feel bad. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I feel bad for some of the riders like the Shea McElraths, the Joey Savachis, and some of these guys, because they've got to be looking at this thinking like, man, like I gave up the summer because I was pursuing this World Supercross thing, and now it's like, I'm not saying it's going to, but if it could potentially kind of blow up in their face a little bit. You know, because a lot of these riders who are focused on the World Supercross, who are racing that, haven't been racing outdoors. So they're not going to get any points for the Super Motocross playoffs coming up shortly. And so, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they cancel those rounds, or they still pay the riders. I don't know. A lot of questions. But, yeah, so that's what's going on. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of excited just for this Super Motocross.
Oh, speaking of Super Motocross, you tune in, because coming up here, when we get a little bit farther into this show, we've got a big announcement. I know we've talked about how we're going to do a separate fantasy league. Not separate league, but we're going to do, for the 3 playoff rounds for Super Motocross, we're doing a completely new restart for fantasy. So it's just a 3-round format for fantasy, and we're giving away over 60, potentially up to over $60,000 in cash. We're not doing prizes. Rocky Mountain is going to fork over a lot of cash, and so we are going to go over that in detail. There you go. Look at that. Cash payouts. But we're going to explain a little bit more how this is going to be paid out, and the weekly prizes, because we're doing cash giveaways for each and every week. But first place could potentially take home $50,000 for just 3 rounds of watching Super Motocross.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick out their own bike or bikes that they want to take home.
So make sure, spread the word, please. Share this video. Let people know that come the first round in Concord, North Carolina, we are going to be starting a new series for 3 rounds, and it's going to come down to the wire. So more to come, but we're going to explain that here in just a little bit. So excited for that. Fantasy is just a year-round deal now, Charles.
It is.
You got Supercross, outdoors, and now we got Super Motocross. It's never ending.
Never ending.
Anyway.
I love it.
Let's go. All right, let's get into our recap here. So Jett Lawrence, he remains perfect. We got Plessinger here second. Props to him. Anderson third, Sexton fourth, Barsha fifth, and then we had Grant Harlan for the wild card. And what were player stats? Can we look at those real quick? I'm kind of curious just to see how everyone did. So again,
average score, 44.06.
I was below average again.
I was above average.
What else is new this year? What else is new? No perfect score. It's only the second time it's happened all year. No players even got 5 picks right.
Man.
24% had 2 picks correct. Jett was the only rider to place in the position he was most picked for. Shocker. And yeah, the biggest upset was AP in second because only 0.3% had him there. Wow. Look at that. 0.4% had Sexton in fourth. What's going to happen to points when Jett, if he doesn't win the overall this weekend?
Oh, dude. Some crazy things will happen.
Yeah.
Well, the point whatever percent the pick.
I'll tell you what, though. If you're outside the top 10 going into this week, you probably don't put Jett in first. You put Chase.
Yep.
Because just think, everyone's going to put Jett first, Chase second, and those are safe picks. But it really doesn't do a whole lot for you. You're not going to pass anybody. So if you're some of these people that are maybe like 30, 40, a couple picks away from being up in that top spot, you're probably going to want to switch up the top 2.
But hold on now.
And then just cross your fingers Sexton can get it done.
But the other mix-up is we're dropping the lowest round.
Well, we are going to drop your lowest round. Yeah. But this is not a double points round.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you're already, if you're just a little bit behind, if you're in the top 10, if you're up there like in the top 3, keep it. But if you have to make up points this round, I don't see why you wouldn't put Chase first, Jett second. I would be.
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's how I feel.
Anyway, with everybody messing things up so bad, it's kind of hard to bet.
Barsha is just throwing a whole wrench into this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that. And then Ferrandis not even being up front. Well,
and Sexton can't get out of his own way.
Yep.
I don't know. All right. Well, kind of crazy. So,
Chase, what do you think? We got questions in the comments.
By the way,
is Jett going to run number 1 plate?
I couldn't open YouTube on my browser. It was blocking me, so I can't see the live chat. Sorry, folks, but that's why I got Nick here. Is he going to run the number 1 plate?
For SMX.
Oh, for SMX? No.
Wouldn't Chase?
SMX is its own separate champion.
But, yeah. And it's the first.
So no one would have
of its
it,
kind.
right?
So
Yeah,
no
it's the first time it's happened. There will be no number 1. Next year, 2024, there will be a number 1. But because think about it, you got a Supercross champ and outdoor champ. If Tomac were racing, who's going to be number 1? So it's the 3-round playoff is going to be its own separate deal, its own champion. So that's interesting.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's a lot to talk about, but it'll be good. Okay. I guess let's just jump into this, man, with our top contenders, or should we talk about fantasy?
Let's go.
What do you want to do first, Charles? Should we hype up the fantasy? Or do we shoot top contenders first?
Let's hype it up. Well, yeah, let's hype it up.
Okay,
I was looking at some of those track layouts. They look so freaking sweet.
They have
massive.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, we're going to be doing our live show for the weeks of the Super Motocross series, so make sure to tune in live. It's going to be the same day, same time. We're not going to change that up on you. But, yeah, the first week, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, we have the last round, and then literally it's just 2 weeks. We have 1 week off, and then we're right into Super Motocross.
Back in it. Fresh chance. Win some cash money.
But, okay, Sid, throw that graphic up there one more time, please, would you, for the fantasy stuff. Okay, so here's how it's working, everybody. For the top 3 prizes, first, second, and third, if you win, you get $10,000. Second place gets $7,500. Third place gets $2,500. Here is the caveat. Am I using that word correctly in that sentence?
I would say
the
yes.
catch?
The caveat.
The caveat? Okay.
The exception.
The exception? Okay.
No, not the
Sid's
exception.
shaking her head no.
English.
Caveat's correct? Okay. I just don't want to sound like an idiot on live show, but I'd be too late. Okay. $10,000 for first place. However, if the winner, gets 2 or more perfect scores, you win an extra $40,000 for a total of 50 G's in your pocket.
Booyah.
Which we saw Matt Hammer do that earlier this year.
Yep.
He got 2 perfect scores to start the season. And this is just a 3-round playoff. So, and look, Jett is going to make this easy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like Chase and Jett, you got to assume are going to be probably your top. I don't know. But what I'm saying is if you get 2 perfect scores, which has happened, you don't have to get them in a row. It could be 2 out of 3. It could be the first round, third round, second round, third round, first and third. It doesn't matter. 50 grand total is going to first place.
Love it.
If you get second place overall, even if you get 2 out of 3 perfect scores, you still take the 7,500. Same thing goes for third. Here's the other cool part. Talking about more cash we're giving away. The first round. So with these Super Motocross rounds, it's single points for the first round, double for the second, and triple for the third. And that goes for fantasy as well as the actual riders' points. What we're going to do is round 1, top 10 scores. So think of your top 10 weekly prizes now, get $100. The second round, we're going to double that. So the top 10 people, winners, get $200. Third round, top 10 finishers, you get $300. So we're just
yeah, this is straight up cash.
Cash.
Not credits,
It's going to be raining money.
Raining money.
Literally.
And Charles will do anything for $1.
Hey, whoa.
So, yeah, that's what's going on with the Super Motocross playoffs. So, please spread the word. Let everybody know that has played RM Fantasy SX. Let them know what's going on. And, of course, if you've been playing with us all year, including outdoors, we know you're going to be there. But don't let people miss out. Don't be greedy. Don't hope people don't play. Get your friends on board because with only 3 rounds, it's going to be gnarly.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. Okay.
That's half the fun, to be honest, is playing with your friends, being able to talk some smack, say the booyahs.
Dude, just imagine if you got first and second round, you did have perfect scores. Like, you're going to be at the top of the leaderboard, obviously, because you can't score any more points than that.
Yep.
Think about how stressful that third round's going to be.
Which reminds me, did we already mention, hey, make sure you get them in as soon as possible because
we'll talk about that, the
okay.
timestamps.
Yeah, timestamps.
Yeah, but that's going to be a huge factor with Super Motocross is the timestamp because remember, the tie goes to the earlier timestamp. So this is going to be one of those situations where you want to get your picks in early and do not change them if you're really in it for the grand prizes, even for the weekly too.
Yep. Yeah, you're pretty much lock them in Sunday, Monday, whatever, and then watch.
No touchy.
Yeah, no touchy.
No touchy.
If something weird happens during the week and somebody's crashed out, then maybe.
Or during qualifying.
But that's
whatever.
about it.
Okay. Anyway, that's what we got going on. So I hope you guys are excited for that. So join us. Okay, let's get into it here. Top contenders. Jett Lawrence. You know, everyone talked about how the track was one line. It was hard to pass, or at least the riders were.
It's not even about winning anymore.
It's about a perfect season. And I don't know what else to talk about other than, gosh, this kid is good. I mean, you watch. He ripped from, I think 8th after lap 1, and he was up into second place and then first place and then won by 8 seconds.
Okay, I will have to say, well, tell me what you think. Do you think that was the most exciting moto of the year, Moto 1?
Well, it was until it wasn't because after the start, Jett's in 8th, Chase is in front of Jett. And then Chase goes off the track.
Yeah, what is that?
The one time Jett gets a poor start and Chase is in front of him, and they don't even show it on the broadcast. And that one made me even more mad because I'm like, dude, Chase is in front of Jett. Here we go. Charlie's getting some bleached hair. And then you come around lap 1, Sexton's not even anywhere to be found, and Jett's, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Someone's looking out for me, man.
Yeah, so he started in 6th. That was his worst start of the season. He has 11 hole shots this year and 3 of the last 4. That's disgusting. That's demoralizing. That goes to the thumbnail of this video. Demoralizing.
That second moto hole shot.
Dude, are you kidding me? We have a highlight of that. Jett's second start was unreal. I don't know how he's 2 bike lengths ahead of everybody halfway down.
Yep.
Give me a break. And if you're sexy, you're just like, dude, what? What's crazy is you got to, I've heard a lot of people talk about how the starting gate and electronics and all this stuff have made it too easy to get good starts. But look, Chase Sexton is he could have, in theory, the exact same map and everything that Jett has off that starting gate, but clearly Jett just has something with his technique that makes him better this year at starts.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Everybody's different.
Everybody's a little bit different. Maybe it's just where his body position. It's how he releases the clutch. I don't know, but obviously it's more than just, these bikes just start themselves. No, you still have to have rider technique. So, anyway, I just want to throw that out there. And then check this out. His pass on AP was just sick. I mean, here he is right here. Now, what's crazy about this pass is how Jett did it. You will not typically see riders cut across ruts like this after they go over this next jump here. I mean, he is literally sliding both wheels on the ground, cuts across.
Right there, yep.
That's risky.
2 wheels getting
That's
loose.
risky. I mean,
Across
a
the rut.
lot could go wrong there. But that just goes to show how confident he is and how well he knows the terrain, the dirt, the motorcycle, everything. It's just freaking unreal. Here's another highlight that I saw with Jett, his line selection. And this was when Barsha was hot on his tail, right here at the second start of the second moto. So watch him cut inside here.
Yep.
Watch
That
where
was an
Barsha
awesome
goes.
line.
Now look at the gap that Jett opened. Oh, did we stop it right there? Ow. Jett just does a sneaky little, I'm going to cut across this rut.
Yep.
Barsha goes to the normal line that everyone else would and immediately put like a second and a half on Barsha in one turn.
Yep. Taking the long way
He's
around.
just crafty,
So
man.
why not just keep blasting people?
Yeah, thank you. And then the last little thing I had, which Sexton did make it interesting in the end of Moto 2, which I don't know how much of it was Jett just cruising the last couple laps or if it was lappers. But he said in the post-race, I thought it was interesting, that right there you saw him look back. That's where he was time-checking Sexton, right? He was seeing every time and if you're not aware of this, people, this is what the racers do. They find places on the track where they can mark riders. So when Jett came over that jump, he peeks to the right. Every time he peeks over, he would see Sexton. And he'd say, Sexton's a little bit farther than he was last lap, or he's a little bit farther behind. And that's how he knows if he's maintaining or losing or gaining a gap on the second or the next rider. When he looked back there, Chase was not in his sight, and that's why he looked back again, because he's like, oh, crap, Sexton's not there. And then you saw Jett, for the first time, I feel like, get a little bit of urgency, and he made a few mistakes in the last lap. That's all I got. But anyway, you're going to put him in first place this weekend, which you should.
Yep.
Speaking of Sexton, let's get to him, I guess. I mean, not a whole lot to say other than fourth was his worst overall so far. Bunch of seconds.
Yep. Almost always
I
second.
used to be the man back in the day.
I mean, a lot has changed in 1 year. Yeah, so he was 22nd after lap 1 in that first moto. And then he got 9th, which is the worst finish of the year. 2 whole shots. I mean, he's the leader in the SMX point standings. Okay, you're going to put Chase Sexton in second place overall. I mean, he had a tip over, and he went down off the track.
Yeah. Stats don't lie. I mean, second. Then he got 4th
That's
last
just the
weekend.
silliest place to go down.
It is. And, okay, he was like little ways back. He gained, 2-3 seconds on one of those final laps of the second moto? That was insane.
Yeah.
Gaining that much.
It was. But, yeah.
Still nervous when you got.
And then he had that crash, too. And that was in the first moto when he just hit this jump here and just, I don't know if it's because he was taking an outside line to get around this rider, but just buried the front. And but that was the second time he went off the track. Jeez. Yeah. All right. How about AC, though, dude? He's going to be in the wild card talk. We'll talk about him in just a minute.
Okay.
Anderson, who's going to put him back on the podium? Anderson's been pretty freaking solid. Like, his last 3 overall finishes, 3, 8, 3. He's finished between 2nd and 5th in 6 of the 8 motos. That's a guaranteed top 5 if you're doing that. He's only started worse than 6 in 1 time in the last 6 motos. So his starts have been good after lap 1. He's not finished better in Moto 2 than he did in Moto 1 in any round. But look, he's still finishing between 2nd and 5th. And yeah, last year at Ironman, he got 4th overall. Went 6'4".
Yeah.
So I think he's a solid top 5 guy.
Yeah.
The real question is, like, is Barsha going to back it up? Which obviously the fitness sounds like he's going to. So I think Barsha is a solid top 5 pick. And I want to point out here, let's look at, so we talked about Deegan's start, right? Oh, we didn't get to 250 highlights. We'll get to those. So Deegan, show Deegan's start real quick, Sid, would you? Deegan just ran it in deep in that restart, which we all know he got, what?
Such a bummer for him, number 1.
Oh, he got screwed.
Yeah.
He got screwed. It's an old rule, and it's happened so little over the last 10 years that it's just never been something that they thought to change. So, yeah, if you all were watching the motos, you saw it. Hayden Deegan had like a 7 or 8 second lead. They were just almost halfway through the moto. This was his pass on freaking Shimoda, which was just beast mode, by the way.
Yeah.
So he had pulled out like a 7 or 8 second lead. And then Hardy Munoz, which thankful that guy is, oh, dude, that's so gnarly. If you're Deegan right there, I put that in the highlights because talk about no fear. He does not shut off. And Shimoda almost bumps into him. And
Yeah.
Deegan's just like, nope, I'm still going full send.
It almost looked like the back tires might have hit. I don't know.
Well, it looked like his front tire may have kissed Deegan's rear, but it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, sketchy.
Dang.
Super sketchy.
Yeah, Deegan was on a mission.
But in that second moto start, so what happened is they red flagged the race because of Hardy Munoz. Here's Hardy Munoz crashing, by the way. I mean, they're wide open on the gas right there where he went down. Glad to say he is okay. We have a picture. Close your eyes if you get a little bit wheezy. It's not terrible, but we do have a picture of Hardy in the hospital or in the back of the ambulance. Yeah, hospital. So a broken nose, big old gash right there between, and a concussion. But just thankful that that's it, man. Just banged up. So very lucky to get away with that one.
Yeah, could have been
Pretty
worse.
wild. So they restart the race there. They have to do the restart. And then Deegan does this from the very inside.
Well, then
Just
yeah, he was so far out front. Vial was so far out front. Seems like he was braking early, and then Deegan.
Well, yeah, Vial's
I
going
don't
to
know if
sneak
he
around
was-
the inside, and
yeah, I don't
Deegan was
know
going
if-
full send.
He either wasn't paying attention or.
I would call that a little bit of a rookie mistake where you're just, he's probably fired up. He's probably pissed. He's like, dude, I just had a 7-second lead. You're going to make me restart? So I get he's just like, he's probably fired up. He's going full send again. But clearly, I mean, you just got to be a little bit smarter than that, I guess. But so here's what I heard, though, is they're going to change the rule for next year. It's already been discussed. And what I'm hearing and what I think would obviously make the most sense is instead of doing a full restart like they just did in this situation, because if there's less than 3 laps completed in a moto, they do a full restart. If more than half the race is complete, the race is called, or more than 3/4, the race is called as is. But in this scenario where you're just about halfway, what they would do now, and again, this is me assuming, but it sounds like it's a good idea, they're going to put all the riders back on the gate. Hayden, he's in first, so he gets first gate pick. And then they will have a flagger or the official stand out on the track. He'll point at Hayden and say, you go. And then he points at the next rider, go. And so the riders go in order of what they were.
Yep.
And that way you keep the same order. You don't have to worry about something like this happening. You're just going to close up the gaps.
Yep.
That's it. Which,
Way better.
hey, dude, how about this? What do you
What's
think
up?
about this idea? What if in every race they did a 20 minutes, right? Hear me out, people. Comment live in the chat if you think it's cool. I do. 20 minutes, right? And then after 20 minutes, they stop the race, line everybody back up, and do the staggered start so it tightens the group all back up again.
That could be interesting.
Right?
Everybody's tired. Yeah. I don't know.
That way, like, even if a dude's 10 seconds ahead and you're just like, this is kind of lame, it don't matter. Because they're all going to be back together, bunched up. But it takes away, like, the beast mode rides, right? It's going to take away, like, the late moto charges. Who knows? Maybe, like, they mix it up. And I don't know. It was just an idea I had to change things up a little bit.
The whole point is to wear them down and see who can last, right?
Yeah, I get it 100%.
Yeah.
But it would favor the riders that maybe aren't as in good a shape,
Yeah.
Because 20 minutes, like, dude, trust me, that last 15 minutes is the worst part of anything. Anyway, just a thought. Tell me what you think.
If I was racing, I would like it because I could still be eating donuts and come back strong late.
I don't know about eating donuts, but you could come back strong late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Okay, who are we on to now? Ferrandis. I guess he was sick.
Yeah.
He was nowhere to be seen all day. So he got 6th overall, which doesn't sound bad, but he was a solid 3rd or 4th place guy leading up to that. Last week was the only round he hasn't finished in the top 5. His starts last round were bad. He was 8th in Moto 1 and then 28th Moto 2. I don't know. He went down somewhere. He does have the 2nd most hole shots this season. So if anybody's going to spoil Jett's perfect season, would you put your money on Chase? Or do you think a Ferrandis could come spoil it or something?
I honestly think Ferrandis. Just basing it off a couple different races, including last weekend. Looked like he was running them down.
At Unadilla?
Sorry, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sexton's chased him down every round.
But he's never led a lap in front of Jett.
Chase?
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So Ferrandis has led, I guess he didn't lead a ton, but he led several laps.
What's more shocking, that Jett is 20-0 or that Sexton has not led a lap yet?
I think that Sexton has not led a lap.
That's more surprising to me.
What is
has
going
not led a
on,
lap.
dude? Like,
jeez.
because that's what's weird is he's finishing second. Like, it's going to be Lawrence, and then it's going to be Sexton, no matter what. But how is these third, fourth place guys? They've been leading laps. Like, what's going on? I don't understand.
But here's the deal. I said this in I think it was the last show, and I'm going to back this up. I almost feel like Sexton needs Jett to start ahead of him and pass him. Because if Chase is in front of Jett and Jett catches and passes Chase, that's worse than Chase getting really close to Jett but not closing the deal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's more defeat. If I was Sexton, I'd be even more upset that I got caught and passed versus I couldn't pass him.
I would agree with that, yes.
And it's the last round.
More demoralized. You know what else is demoralizing? Just speaking
My
of
points?
Jett, that ice cream cone during the press
podium?
conference.
Did it
It's
make
like,
you want one?
A little bit. Full disclosure, but I'm like, man, like, oh, that's just got a sting for everybody else. He's just chilling, eating ice cream after. I don't know. That's
Look,
my opinion.
Okay, speaking of press conference, I do have a rant. Okay. Can we, Feld, whoever is running these post-race press conferences, why are we having reporters ask what Jett's favorite character is on Fortnite?
Emotional damage.
I am there to hear the racers talk about their race, talk about motorcycles and motocross, and a guy asked Jett Lawrence about gaming. I am instantly just like, well, I'm out. Like, why are we talking about games in a press conference? I'm just like, and if I'm looking at that, I'm the reporter, or if I'm the person that's leading the discussion, I'm gonna look at that reporter and think, that's what you want to ask Jett Lawrence in a post-race press conference when he's 20-0 in his rookie season? Like, you want to talk about Fortnite?
You're making me feel bad for talking about ice cream. I better change it back real quick.
That's my rant. I'm just like, man, and because Jason Wygant, when it was his turn, he's like, I don't feel like we've talked about racing, so let's talk about it. I'm just like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear about your races. I don't want to hear about Fortnite.
Agreed.
Maybe if you're
100%.
a gamer, you care, but it's just not the time or place. That's my opinion. I don't know. What are people saying in the chat?
Well, one thing, I'm
They're
backing
agreeing.
it up just a little bit.
I think that's a podcast question, not a you just raced a moto question.
Yeah, like
It's
that's
thanks for coming to the podcast.
Thanks.
Let's talk about it.
Or a post-race interview, but not like the official. Because if you're Anderson and you're Plessinger, you're up there, you're just like, dude, I just raced my dirt bike all day. I'm tired. I'm here to answer questions about racing, and you want to talk to Jett about video games. I'm out. Okay, I won't talk about it again.
Oh, you're good. Hey, I just wanted to answer one deal. So
What?
NIL 8 UR buds. I don't know.
Okay.
He said Sexton wasn't second. He was fourth. Yeah, he was fourth this weekend. But, I mean, usually, most of the time, seems like he's a second place guy. That's all I meant.
What did you say?
The Chase is a second place guy.
Yeah.
You can bet on Jett than Chase.
You sure can. All right.
Anyway.
Okay, wild card. 7th place this week. We are zipping along. Just FYI, people, no guest caller this week. Apologize for that. Had a couple of riders we thought were lined up. Didn't work out, but we're going to get riders calling in for the SMX playoffs, so you do not worry. But we're going to jump into Wildcard Watch here. It's going to be, I think, probably one of the highest hitting Wildcard Watches we're going to have all year. And it's good or hard, it being the last. I can't tell if it's a positive or a negative being the last round, having a more predictable wildcard spot. Because if it was like, say, 13th this weekend, that's a tough wild card to get right? And that could be like the difference maker.
I feel like this one, you've got a 30% chance on getting the wild card right, and then a 3% chance you could have a wild card for the wild card. I think it's going to be one of three guys is what I'm trying to say. All right, not funny?
I just had to pause and be like, what did he just say? I don't get
Basically, I think it's one of three guys. There's a slight chance it could be someone else.
Okay. Put up Sid Wildcard Watch here, or Nick. Okay. Here's what we have. Ty Masterpool, Garrett Marchbanks, AC, Barsha, Phil Nicoletti. Stats-wise, here's what's going to help you all out. I have Marchbanks right now. His overall finishes this season, 7.665, 7.778.
Let's go.
His starts last round, 4 and 8, finished 6th and 8th. He's only finished between 5th and 8th overall this season. That's a solid wild card pick, and that's what we typed on the screen right here, just to reinforce that. So Marchbanks is looking good. And then Masterpool, him and Marchbanks are kind of right in that same little boat.
Yep.
Who do you
Another
have
solid
right
pick.
now, Charles?
I'm actually doing Cianciarulo. Even though he starts out good, right?
Yeah.
Seems like, okay, check out these stats. Average finish per main, 6.9.
Okay.
That's a pretty good stat right there. I love it. So anyway, average Moto 1 finish, 7.9. Average Moto 2, 5.9, so a little stronger in the second. He's only finished 7th or worse in the overall 3 times all season. And with Barsha back,
Yeah,
at seventh
maybe
best
bumps
guy.
him back. He's finished in 7th place in both motos. He's gotten the whole shots in, too. I just feel like AC is better than Marchbanks and Masterpool. So, you've got Lawrence, Sexton. Okay, Ferrandis had a bad weekend, but you can't count on that happening 2 times in a row.
yeah, he's going to
Lawrence,
be up there.
Sexton, Ferrandis, Anderson, Barsha, AC, and Plessinger. Dude,
He's going to be real close.
AP's
Maybe
like
one
that's 7 right there. So yeah, maybe Masterpool and Marchbanks are even like a tick behind that. You could, AC could be a really good pick.
That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
Just looking at all the stats and
Okay.
thinking that, hey, Ferrandis isn't going to have another bad weekend.
Wow. Yeah.
that's where
I
he's at.
mean, look, any one of those guys, AC, Marchbanks, Masterpool. I mean, if you look at Masterpool stats that we have here, he's last 5 overall finishes 9, 6, 8, 9, 9. So now that Barsha's back, that kind of moves him back 1 spot. His average finish in Moto 1 is 7.22, and Moto 2 is 10.78. So his overall finish per round is just over 8. Yeah, I mean, I would say Marchbanks and AC are your 2 top picks. We put Nicoletti in there as just like a maybe and maybe a Barsha. But Nicoletti, his best overall so far, I think, is 10th. So you really just got to say, okay, it's between those 3, Masterpool, Marchbanks, and AC stat-wise. Unless you want to, but again, being the last round,
Could take a gamble.
You might need to take a gamble and just assume Ferrandis is going to have, I don't know. That's tough, though. It's really hard not to put one of those 3. But, I mean, still, that's those 3. You still have 3 options that are really good as far as stats go to put there. So it's going to be tough.
So there's your 30%.
There is your 30%. You got like a 33% chance. And then, you're right, a 1% chance of somebody else getting the wild card. Because early in the season, you had Jose Butron. Was it Butron that got like 6th overall? And the Crucio was all up there. But those guys have all kind of faded back. AC and these guys have gotten stronger. Barsha's back. Gosh, why can't we have like Kenny Roxon and some of these guys come back for the last round?
That would be sweet. That would
Shake it up a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, I think Roxon's the only guy that could show up and do something in that 7th to 1st range. But not going to be there. It's a bummer.
It is.
It's the last round. Or what if Hurlings? Remember when he came over and just stomped everybody?
Yeah.
He just got hurt again. Did you hear about that?
I didn't. What's going on? What happened?
I don't know. He was at some sand track practicing. I think it was during practice, and he crashed, like stuffed the front end, a sand turn, flipped over the bars. Didn't look that bad, but I guess cracked his collarbone.
It's always the ones that don't look that bad.
Well, the dude just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is, I don't know. That's another time, another debate. Everyone talks about him being the fastest man on the planet, but I don't care. You got to be able to race. You got to be able to line up.
Yep.
So,
Consistency.
yep. That's all we got. That's it. Wild card's going to be crucial this week. Again, it's the last round. We're going to be back on Tuesday live to give you all the overall. And I believe, what's up?
And you're going to have to eat a hot peanut.
Dude, it's very likely. Oh, one last thing we forgot to mention. This is important. Just like we do the 20-ticket giveaway for Supercross all year long, we're giving away 20 tickets for each round of Super Motocross. So we're going to start round 1 in this video. So after this video is posted to the YouTubes, you're going to go in the comment section, not in the live chat, in the comment section after, and you are going to comment if you can make it to round 1 of the Super Motocross Series, which is in, again, Concord, North Carolina, Does not include travel. It's just your ticket to the race. Please, if you cannot make it, don't ask for tickets. Don't get tickets and then try and figure it out later on if you're going to be able to make it or not. If you can make it, let us know in the comments how many tickets you would need, and Rachel will go through and select random winners to take 20 tickets, and we're going to do that for all 3 rounds.
Going to be sweet.
Going to be radical.
I'm excited, man.
Well,
New layout, 2 motos.
Everyone needs to go see the layouts. We can put the link to that too, but the layout for these tracks, it's kind of like Daytona and Atlanta, but like long tracks.
Chicagoland, 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
That's what it was saying. That's a long track.
That's a full outdoor track.
Uh-huh.
Like that's a 2-minute plus lap time.
Oh, yeah. Typical outdoors, what, like a mile? Or is it about
around?
a mile and a half?
I think about a mile-ish,
Yeah.
give or take. But
so
that's why, though, they're doing, I think, 25-minute motos. Oh, by the way.
I think it was 20.
Is it 20
plus?
20 plus? So it's a normal Supercross?
Uh-huh.
I don't know where I saw
But even
25.
the 250s are doing 20 minutes as well.
Really?
From what I read.
Okay.
Yes.
So just so y'all know, we are working on, I'm going to try my hardest next week to do a live chat like this with a representative from Feld, where we are just going to do a Q&A on the Super Motocross series. So I'm going to be asking questions about the point system, the qualification, the LCQ, all that stuff. So we are trying right now to arrange that. So we'll make a post on Instagram letting y'all know, if that's going to happen, the day and time. But please, if you have questions about the Super Motocross, leave those down below in the chat as well, and I'll take some good questions that you might have and see if I can get those answered for you. So we're trying really hard to make that happen because I still have questions. Being that it is the first year, it's a little bit confusing. There's a lot to take in. The format is different. I know that they're doing not press day, but actual practice is on Friday, the day before. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, well, what does the structure look like on Saturday? Are they just going to wait? Is there no practicing on Saturday and it's just heat races? Like they just go right to them?
I don't know. I was reading the races start in the afternoon, mid-afternoon.
Some do, some don't.
Oh, yeah.
Like the LA Coliseum, it's at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some are day races. So I have no idea. I'm just kind of curious, how this whole format's going to look. So hopefully we can get someone from Feld and hop on and do a live call like that.
But, hey, bringing it back to this last race. We didn't lock them in yet.
I know.
You want to lock them in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Are you ready for my picks?
I'm ready.
Look, even though I'm betting on Jett not going perfect, I put Jett for first, Chase for second. I got Ferrandis third, Anderson fourth, Barsha fifth, and I have Marchbanks. I'm betting on AC getting sixth overall, putting Marchbanks as seventh.
Let's go.
Nice work. Yeah, for mine, I've got Lawrence, Sexton, Ferrandis.
Oh, dude, I don't even have AP in there.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. See, so I kind of wanted to put Anderson for fourth place, but I know your luck, Chase. No offense. So I put him in fifth and then put AP in fourth.
All right.
So I think with Ferrandis, well, not being back. He's back anyway, but I think Ferrandis is going to bump out Barsha and then Cianciarulo for the wild card.
AP does like this track. So, I think they all like this. Ironman, I think, is one of my favorite racetracks. I remember in Hayden Deegan last year.
Yeah,
it was his
that was his
debut.
little tag thing.
He tried to jump over it and just wrecked himself.
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget that.
Poor guy.
But it was cool, though.
Yeah.
It's a cool. I just really like this racetrack.
One of those memories.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. But, hey, that's all we got. So, remember, big announcements here. Big Trouble in Little China with World Supercross. But we're going to announce winners next week. Stay tuned for that. 1 round to go. Best of luck to everybody. But the big announcement, too, is we're going to be back starting all over from scratch for the Super Motocross Series. Over, first place could win $50,000. Cash prizes all 3 rounds. We're excited for it. So make sure, please, tell your friends, share this video, get everybody signed up. It's going to be the same deal. It's the play, the format. It's going to be the same that you guys are all used to. So no confusion there. You just got to go and sign up, and we'll let you know when picks open up for that first round. But I'm assuming it's going to be the Sunday or the Monday of the week of the first round. But more to be announced. You follow us on Instagram and everything, and we're gonna show you or let you know what's going on, so you guys don't have any questions. But I'm excited for it, Charles.
Oh yeah. I'm
excited for it. It's going to be rad. But that being said, quick, one last time, Sid, let's get weekly prizes up here. We forgot to mention, too, that we do the 90 Rocky Mountain gift cards. But I just want to show what is up for grabs this week. there you have it. And again, big thank you to all the sponsors that make this possible. We could not do it without if it weren't for these amazing brands and a whole lot others that support fantasy. And, it also, if you're going to be shopping at Rocky Mountain, something that's awesome too is for us to get these sponsors, we want them to feel like, the players are paying attention, they're using their brand. So if you go to the fantasy website, you can click on links that will take you to Rocky Mountain's website. And it tracks that you went to the link and went to our website and bought something. So it just kind of helps us
support the brand,
track
help us.
Yeah, it helps us track that you're buying things through the fantasy website, which helps the sponsors and stuff see that you guys are playing and using the link. So help us out.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
I'm excited. I have zero chance of beating you. I have sucked all outdoor season. Chase Sexton has let me down I don't know how many times, but you know what? There's one more round left to where you could see Charles with bleached white hair, or I'm eating a freaking peanut that is hot as all on Tuesday, which I'm not looking forward to. So we'll do that at the end of the show because I don't think I'll be able to get through it. That peanut. I'm gonna put a glass
leave the
of milk.
comments in the
Glass
chat.
of
We
milk
want to
is
see
going
it at
right
the
here.
beginning.
Glass of milk's going right here. And a bowl of ice cream.
We got to have a
is
burn
going
time,
right
a 5
here.
minute burn before you can
It's
drink
so
anything.
bad. I won't be able to talk. I'm going to tell you right now, here's what happens when I eat hot food, especially one of those. My eyes water so bad I can't see, and I will start hiccuping out of control. It is a 100% guarantee.
This is going to be bad.
You gotta tuck that front end. son.
Okay,
That's
well,
right. I'm going to tuck it from Colin's sick on Tuesday. I'm going to tuck the front end. Colin's sick. Anyway, hey, we enjoyed it. Great live show. Thank you, everybody who tuned in live in the chat. Remember, comment below if you want tickets to Concord, North Carolina for the first round. With that being said, best of luck to everybody this weekend. If you're in the hunt for the championship and top 10 grand prizes, we're rooting for you. So with that being said, Charles, you got anything left?
we'll see you Tuesday.
See you then.